Courtney Cox here with Zach Cox at Gillette Stadium after a Patriots 27-13 win over the Cleveland Browns. First half of the season over, 8-0 for the Pats, and their defense continues to impress. Baker Mayfield walked in today wearing a jacket that said Ghosts on it, so I think he was a little bit cocky going into this one, but 3 turnovers in a row for the Browns. For you, what did you see in that series?
Absolutely. This was an interesting game because the Patriots, as dominant as it has been before, they didn't make Baker Mayfield see ghosts the way that they did with Sam Darnold last week and with guys like Josh Allen earlier in the season. It wasn't a kind of comprehensive total shutdown performance, but in that one span, that was one of the more impressive defensive stretches that I've ever seen. As you mentioned, 3 turnovers in 3 plays. First, you had the fumble recovery for a touchdown by Dante Hightower, 4th defensive touchdown the Patriots have scored this season. Then you had a really impressive play by Jonathan Jones. It was actually kind of a negative play at first from the Patriots defense. They missed a bunch of tackles on Nick Chubb, who had a very good game today. He was about 45 yards down the field, and Jonathan Jones was able to catch up, punch the ball out, kind of prevent a touchdown and create a turnover. And then very next play for the Browns, Baker Mayfield tried to do a shovel pass, ended up throwing it directly into the gut of Lawrence Guy. First interception of the big man's life. And then from there, that basically just kind of set the tone for the rest of the day. The Patriots are up 17-0 early, and they're basically able to kind of cruise to a victory here.
Baker Mayfield last season had 14 interceptions. He now has 12 after this game. So not looking great for a guy who people thought were going to be a playoff quarterback.
Yeah, it has not been the kind of ideal second year leap that you usually see from these quarterbacks for a guy who was the offensive rookie of the year last season. I think, weirdly enough, this was almost kind of a step forward for Baker Mayfield in this game, just because he didn't look like a total disaster like Sam Darnold did next week. The Patriots defense didn't get worse in this game. It was Baker Mayfield did play better than as I mentioned, some of the young quarterbacks have against the Patriots this season. So definitely still pretty far back from the mark that he set as a rookie, but I think he has to be slightly encouraged coming out of this game, as strange as it might sound by looking at the final score and some of these statistics.
Up next for the Pats is the Ravens. For this defense, do you see this being a good matchup for them?
I see it being a very different matchup, a very intriguing matchup, probably the most intriguing matchup on their schedule, except for potentially Patrick Mahomes down the line, because they're going to be playing against Lamar Jackson, who is really a unique talent in the NFL. His running ability just makes him, he's basically like Michael Vick out there. He's really a different guy than the Patriots have played, even against some of the kind of more mobile, scrambling quarterbacks like a Mitchell Trubisky or a Josh Allen. Lamar Jackson's on another level than that, so I'm very interested to see the kind of packages and schemes and rush fronts that they pull out this week against Lamar.
All right, well, there you have it, 8-0 through the first half of the season. Zach Cox, you can follow along with him on Twitter at Zach Cox NESNON, or myself at Cox Courtney. Keep it locked in, NESNON.com. We will have all your coverage leading up to Week 9 against the Ravens.